What are the economic factors that you think are significantly obstructing the economic growth of the Philippines? First, debt crisis. We know that our country is facing a massive debt reaching 11.72 trillion pesos in 2029. This debt will be hard for us to pay and take a long time to regain the amount of money. That issues will lead us to other factor, the overtax. Because of that debt, we citizens of the Philippines are obligated to pay a value-added tax. Yes, two added tax because there is a lot of debt. Second are factors in terms of competitiveness. One of the issues obstructing our growth is low human development. There is a lot of child labor in our country, especially in slums places, and it is illegal. Also, a lot of workers cannot maximize their full potential for our development because of authority and educational requirements. Speaking of education, a lot of people in this country has lack of education. Because of poverty, they tend to work in a very young age for survival. Land reform. We know that deforestation, illegal mining, and quarrying happens in our country. This led to destruction of our ecological asset. Also our farmers. A lot of good soils for our farmers are being converted as subdivision, and they forced to farm in local quality places with unfair treatment. Low protection for our domestic industry, importation of goods and weak agricultural research. Corruption in our government are highly spread. There is no development when there is a wide corruption. This can cause budget robbery and wrong social spending. A lot of money will go favor to all middle and high class for personal interests. Our infrastructure are also lacking. Our poverty increased 1.7% each year, and when this rate increases every year, the development that we seek will be impossible. Number 2. What do you think are the factors that will contribute to the economic growth of the Philippines? In comparison of Brazil development, I think our country need to evaluate by these 6 factors. First, income and growth. Since our economy is stand crucial status, we need to assess our GDP or gross domestic product. We need to develop our human resources and corporate development. Performance also technology and infrastructural expansion. Second is social indicator. We need to improve our educational field, eliminating corrupt government official for well social spending, reduce of high work standard, and child production for child labor and fair treatment to our society. Third, poverty. Our country increased 1.7% each year. We must provide more employment, wide job hunting, and expand our family stipend for all poor families, like purpose. Fourth, land reform. We need to assess all the operating plantation, do agricultural research for farmers, and study the mining industry and other land-related issues. Also protecting our ocean for our fishermen. Second to the last, sustainability of development. We need to face the problem of illegal mining, destruction of forests, quarrying, and other ecological problem. Because we need to preserve our ecology for our future and our health. Lastly, problem of social inclusion. Racism is no longer tolerated in our country. We need to face the reality that we need to end discrimination. Our growth as a country starts by letting different people maximize their full potential for our country. Number 3. In what ways is the forthcoming national election significant to the economic development of the Philippines? Government play a vital role in our country. Politicians are the leader of this country. The process of democracy disciplined governments into improving economic policy and governance. This is the structural effect of the election. They increase accountability. Faced with an election, a government may need to attract votes by adopting policies that are good for the citizens. This forthcoming national election is significant to our economic development because the people will be elected are the people who will lead the country in 6 years. All development will happen on their hand. They will portray an image of a leader that prioritizes improvement of our country with good governance, flexible plan, and long-term evaluation. Electing a politician with solid plan and right platform, leader that valued people and leader who inclined in different field or sector of our country, and know how to execute work.